Chapter 5 Part 1. My new owner gave me food before he rode me for many kilometers towards London. It was getting dark and the lights were on in the streets when we arrived in the big city. There were streets to the left and streets to the right, and I thought we would never arrive. Finally, however, my owner gave a call and a door opened in a small house. A woman and 2 children ran out. "Is he gentle, father?" called the girl. "Yes, he's as gentle as you are. Come and say hello," he said. "Let me get him some food and water," said the woman. And I was taken into a comfortable stable. "I think I'll be happy here," I thought. My new owners were called Jerry and Polly, and their children were Harry and Dolly, who were aged 8 and 12. They were all very happy people. Jerry owned a taxi carriage and another horse called Captain. The next day, Captain went out with the taxi carriage in the morning, then it was my turn in the afternoon. Jerry was a very good driver and was very kind to me. He took me to a wide street where there were big houses and shops filled with food. There were many other taxis outside the shops, waiting for passengers. The other drivers said hello to Jerry and then came to look at me. "He's too handsome to pull a taxi," said one. "Well," said Jerry, "I'll soon find out, won't I?" Then the owner of the taxi business came over, a tall man called Mr. Grant. He studied me as if he wanted to buy me, then he said, "He's a good horse. He will do well for you, Jerry." The first few days of pulling a taxi were difficult. I did not find it easy in London. There was so much noise and so many people. It was difficult to find my way between all the other carriages, but in time, I began to trust Jerry and I stopped worrying. At the end of the day, I was given good food and fresh water. Harry always helped to look after me and worked as hard as a much older boy, and Polly and Dolly also came to see me often. Jerry was the best owner I have had. Jerry was always kind to me, but he was not always happy with his passengers. One day, 2 young men came out of a hotel and called him over. "Hey, taxi driver. We're late for our train. Go as quickly as you can so we can catch the 1 o'clock train. We will give you an extra £1," said one of them. "I will take you, but only at our usual speed," said Jerry. Another taxi driver heard him and called out, "I'll go fast for you." "He won't go fast because he loves his horse." The men laughed and jumped into the other taxi. "I must always think about my horse," said Jerry. "A pound won't help if it makes my horse too tired to take other passengers for the rest of the day." Jerry was a very good driver, and with a light pull of the reins he drove me carefully among the carriages, horses, people and taxis that filled the streets, some going one way, some the other. I always felt safe, because I trusted Jerry. Holidays were not common for taxi drivers. Many of the taxi drivers did not own their horses, but hired them each day. That meant they had to work very long hours without a rest to get enough money. Some of them were not like Jerry and always had to work for 7 days a week. I felt sorry for both the horses and their drivers. Critical thinking questions and their suggested answers. 1. What do you think life was like for a horse that pulled taxis in London at that time? It was a hard life as London was very crowded and the drivers had to work for a long time without holidays. 2. How do we know that Jerry cares about horses? He does not take the passengers quickly to the station, because he always thinks about his horses. He does not want his horses to be tired. 3. How easy do you think it was for people to travel around London at that time? It was probably quite difficult because there were no cars, trains or buses. Only wealthy people could take a taxi or carriage, because they were expensive. 4. Why do you think that one of the taxi drivers says to Jerry that Black Beauty is too handsome to pull a taxi when he sees Black Beauty for the first time? as he can see that Black Beauty is a strong, healthy horse. 5. Do you think that people were always happy to have Jerry as a taxi driver? Why not? No, because he was not popular with everyone because he didn't always do what people asked him to do. 6. Why do you think that Jerry took Captain to work on Black Beauty's first morning in London? I think he didn't want Black Beauty to have a difficult first day.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.